Scaling buildings, jumping off bridges, skydiving, and more are some of the skills of a stuntman. I caught up with one unique individual who has had his fair share of thrills. There is an age-old saying that we've all heard from our parents. If your friends told you to jump off a bridge, would you? Many of us likely said no. However, one man seized his chance to conquer that bridge.
I learned how to base jump, and I was the first person to base jump from the top of the Golden Gate Bridge. It's roadway level, but the top of the towers.
Ron Broyles is from La Follette, Tennessee, an unlikely hotbed for stuntmen, but his need to push himself led to a unique career path.
And while I was here, I was working part-time as a stuntman for Mad Jack Fielding, who was a local furniture salesman who did some bizarre stuff in order to sell furniture, and he made some great commercials. We did about 14 or 15, and we drove tanks over living room suites and rolled cars and jumped motorcycles and everything. And I got the stunt bug doing that, and then went to LA to see about becoming a stuntman.
The aesthetic appeal of stunt work really intrigued Ron. He wanted to challenge the impossible.
Strangely enough, I like the physics of it. I like figuring out how far a car is going to jump or how far a motorcycle is going to jump, and I like the illusion of something happening that looks dangerous that really isn't. I like that a lot.
Ron continued his stunt work and even learned a new skill to add to his repertoire.
I started skydiving because I used to go on a lot of commercial interviews, and if they ask you if you can do something, you never say no.
From the hills of Tennessee to the big city of Los Angeles, Ron was leaving behind a very loving family, but he knew they would be behind him 100%.
Well, I never had a dad. It was my mother and my grandmother, and I did feel bad about, leaving them. My grandmother was getting older, and my mother, she wasn't doing real well. But they always told me, look, you got to follow your heart. You got to go where your real passion is, and they knew I loved to do that kind of stuff.
Ron has since settled down in nearby Maryville, Tennessee, to raise his own family away from the stunting lifestyle.
I lost my contacts in the stunt business and stuff. I had a family, so decided to come back to Tennessee and do some construction work. So that's what I've been doing lately.
Ron has recently worked on a reality show that he is hoping to get picked up for television.
Well, I'll tell you a little bit about it. It's basically about what happens to us physically and mentally as we get older. And we're going to be interviewing older athletes and find out how they've kept in shape. But we're going to scour the world and really looking for those kinds of things that give you back what you think you have lost.
He also offered some words of advice for aspiring stuntmen that want the opportunity to show what they've got.
Know in your heart that, one, you're probably going to get hurt quite a bit when you first start out, and it's very taxing and it's very challenging, and if it comes off, some of the stuntmen I knew were more respected than actors. It's pretty cool.
Reporting live in the studio for UT Today, I'm Jake Smith.